Hey guys, my name is Adriana and today I'm going to show you how I edited my Darth Maul cosplay photo. The first thing I'm doing is I'm going into Facetune. Facetune is the app that I use for most of my edits. You really don't need another app to edit your photos if you're editing your faces. If you're not editing faces, you could probably use a different app. For some features on Facetune, you do have to have a face to edit, but for our circumstances and our purposes right now, we're just going to use Facetune for the most part of this video. So first thing I'm doing right now is I'm adding some contact lenses into my photo. I don't have yellow Sith contact lenses at home, so this is a really inexpensive way to be able to edit that into your photo and so that you give that authentic look. So what I'm also doing is I'm making sure that my pupils are lined up perfectly with my natural pupils to prevent a wall-eyed effect, and I'm also making sure the opacity is bright enough to where you can see, but also not so opaque that it looks fake. Now in the background of this, you will see that I'm using the vanish tool. The vanish tool helps remove unwanted objects from the back of your photos. So I'm doing that right now. I'm removing my ceiling fan, now I'm removing my pop Funkos, and I'm removing a little bit of my ceiling. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating a mock background that has a painterly effect to it. This can bring all the focus to your main object in your photo, which in this case is the Darth Maul cosplay. By having a plain background, you don't draw too much attention to anything in the sides of your photo. You want everything to be focused on the object in the forefront. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to follow that up with a little bit of the smoother just to make sure that the background is smooth and it doesn't have any jagged edges that make it look obvious that we've used the vanish tool. I'm also going to go in with some black and I'm going to smoke out a little bit of the edges just so it gives a little bit more of a cohesive feeling and it doesn't just have these white blocks and stuff. And I'm changing the opacity in that so you can still see a little bit of the texture that we put in the background. So with that, what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you a little bit of how you can add some lighting effects to your photo. In the end of this process, I don't keep any of the lighting effects in the final product, but this is a good way to look at some just to see if there's anything you'd like to add. Some of these effects can give a little bit more of a comic book feel, and the others can give a little bit more dimension to the photo. I didn't find any of these to my liking, so we're going to leave the photo as is. Now, we're going to go to Photoshop Express. Photoshop Express is also a really good app to use. Most of their really helpful features are under their professional premium pricing membership. So if you want some of the Photoshop features, you will have to pay. But some of these you don't have to, and they do give you a little bit of a trial if you'd like to try them. So what I'm doing right now is I'm changing the contrast of my photo. So by brightening the reds and brightening the blacks and muting some of the whites, I'm making sure that the reds and the blacks stand out the most because I want you to be able to see the contrast between the colors. It keeps everything from fogging up. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of the dehazing feature. Now, the dehazing feature is part of the Photoshop Premium, but what you can do is you can use your dehazing tool and you can take a screenshot of the photo. So when you take a screenshot, it also avoids the Photoshop logo from being in the bottom of your photos. If you don't and you save the picture, it will have the Photoshop Express watermark in the corner. If that's not something that bothers you, that's cool, you don't have to do it. But it's just easier to do that anyway. What I'm also going to do in this photo is I'm going to bump up the saturation. I want you to really be able to see the red. And there's a feature on this app that was able to show you what your photo looked like before and what it looked like after, just to see if you like it. Now, that's about all that I'm going to do today on my Darth Maul cosplay. If anybody has any questions, just let me know, and I hope to make more videos to show you guys how to do all this on your phone. Bye, guys.